So, before we get started on our 30-day journey together that will really last your whole life, this journey towards love, peace, joy, and fulfillment and real transformation in our lives, I want you to understand just a few of the basic laws of the universe, because we'll be using these principles and applying it on our journey together. So let's get started.
The law of divine oneness states that we live in a world where everything and everyone is connected to everything else and everyone else. Everything we do, say, think, believe, feel affects others and the world around us, and vice versa. We are all connected. The law of vibration states that everything in our universe is moving and vibrating in circular patterns. The same principles apply in the physical world as the non-physical. That means our thoughts, feelings, desires, our beliefs, everything in the non-physical world, every sound, every thought we have has its own vibrational frequency. The law of action. This law must be applied in order for us to manifest things in physical form. We have to participate in actions and activities that support our thoughts, our dreams, our emotions, our feelings, our words. This is where we take our baby steps and we start moving towards what we want. The law of correspondence. This law states that the principles or the laws of physics that explain and define our physical world, which is energy, light, vibration, motion, all of these things have corresponding principles in the universe, in the unseen world, in the non-physical world. This is where you might hear, as above, so below. And as I like to say, as within, so without. The law of cause and effect. This is a law that states nothing happens by chance. Nothing is coincidence, and nothing is outside of these laws. These are universal laws, and every action you take has a reaction or a consequence. This is where you hear the phrase, reap what we have sown. Every action has a reaction and a consequence. Nothing is coincidence. Nothing happens by chance. And everything works inside the laws of the universe. The law of compensation. This is the law of cause and effect as it is applied to the blessings and abundance that we receive. So, the law of cause and effect, this is our consequences as it shows up in our life, in our physical reality. So this is where you see visible, tangible, physical effects of our deeds, of our action steps, of the seeds we've been planting, all those little baby steps we're taking. This is where we see the consequences of that, the abundance that comes to us in the form of gifts, money, friendships, blessings. This is the evidence that you're on the right track. The law of attraction. This is the one you may have heard about, but you may be a little bit confused about it. So this law demonstrates how we create everything that comes into our life and experience. Our thoughts, our feelings, words, beliefs, actions, all produce energy and vibration, which in turn attracts like energies. Negative energies attract negative energies, and positive energies attract positive energies. Our vibrations are like magnets. We attract that which we are, like unto like. The law of perpetual transmutation of energy. Now this law, it's really a powerful one. This law states that everyone has within them the power to change their lives. You are never stuck where you are. Your life can change in any moment, and you can choose for it to change, right now, tomorrow, at any point. It is within your control. It is in your power to change the condition of your life. Higher vibrations consume and transform lower vibrations and energies. Therefore, every one of us can change the energy in our lives that we're attracting by understanding these laws of the universe and applying them in such a way that we affect change in our lives. The law of relativity. This law states that everyone has problems. These are tests, these are challenges. They strengthen us. They strengthen the light within us. We can always look at challenges as opportunities for growth and expansion. How we see them is only based on our beliefs and our perception. We must consider that all of these challenges that come our way, we need to face them and meet them connected to our hearts. We need to stay centered in our hearts when we try to solve the problem. We cannot solve a problem when we see it as a problem. However, when we're in our heart center and we are aligned and open and at peace, we can see solutions to every challenge. This law teaches us that we can compare our problems to those of others, and it puts everything into perspective for us. This is where you hear the phrase, it's all relative. Somebody's problem might be a blessing for you. Something that someone considers a challenge might be no big deal to you, and vice versa. The law of polarity states that everything has an opposite. We can transform our undesirable thoughts, feelings, and beliefs by concentrating and affirming the opposite of those current thought patterns. This is the law of our mental vibrations. The law of rhythm describes that everything vibrates and moves to certain rhythms, and these rhythms establish cycles, stages of development, patterns, seasons, and every cycle reflects the regularity of the universe. People that are very familiar with the law of rhythm know how to rise above negative parts of a cycle and patterns, and they don't allow the negative to penetrate into their consciousness and seat of awareness. Lastly, the law of gender states that everything has a masculine and a feminine. This is the yin and the yang, and that these principles are the basis for all of creation. And we must learn to balance the masculine and feminine energies within ourselves if we want to become a master and true co-creator.